guys, welcome to the channel. It's Who Are Behind the Camera, and I appreciate that you're here with me tonight. We're in the Audi Q5 Black Edition, and this is the Sportback. I don't even know why I'm saying so many things, but yeah, this is the Q5, of course. And yeah, let's turn it on. Where's the turn on button? There you go. You can see Audi MMI, and yeah, I think the screen actually is going to cause a little bit of trouble for the camera because it's too bright. But we'll see how we deal with that. Otherwise, you know that this screen, of course, you can get the full map here, or you can get it in the screen here when you're driving, just like many other cars out there. You've seen that, and Audi they've been doing this for quite some time, because this system is actually it's been around for quite some time. And I think they've done a great job actually in keeping it fresh. But this camera system, I can't say the same about it. Audi, this is where I think you need to work around this one, because this camera is, it's grainy and everything else. But you know what? I believe the new Q5 is going to bring a lot more than we can think about right now, probably. But look, this is the 40T Di, which means it's a turbocharged diesel engine in here, 2 liter, 140 kilowatts, 400 Newton meters of torque. And tonight, we're taking it to the dark road. Let's just head to that side. So yeah, here we are, about to get on the open road. And this is going to be a dark drive. But luckily, we do have the famous Audi Matrix LEDs, and they're going to help us in here. And that's precisely why I chose this road, because I thought, I think we need a road like this for this one, because it's going to help us see how these lights are performing. Just gonna put it on dynamic now, and I just want it to perform as optimal as it can in terms of performance, of course. But look, here's the thing. It's going to be a dark road, and the performance of these lights are going to help us. I've driven the A4, I think, back in 2021, and I was very much impressed. It was not the Matrix LEDs, but at the time, the lights were just so impressive, man. I liked how much they illuminated, because the reason I'm mentioning this is because I was on a road like this. It had potholes and stuff in Mpumalanga at night. I was thinking of animals and everything else, but the way it was illuminating, it was actually quite impressive. And you know Audi, when it comes to lights, the whole thing that you saw when we started the car of lights dancing and doing this and that sequence, I think I credit Audi for a lot of that stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm not too old to remember who started this stuff, but for me, I think Audi was the one that was like a leader in this. And something that probably is going to be a little bit of, should I say it's gonna impress me, is how well they actually do this whole Matrix stuff. Sometimes, as much as I indicated like in the Volvo that I love the shadow lights, it does this, but sometimes it can be straining on the road, because when the lights are dancing a lot, on and off, trying to search and seize dark spots and so on, at some point it's going to be tiring, and you're just going to be like, what, let me just turn this stuff off, man. So the integration into turning on and off and not straining your eye is probably very important on the road, and that's something that sometimes you'd rather have, especially on a long drive and open roads like this, than having lights that are just dancing throughout the road. So yeah, that's probably the drawback with all this Matrix LED stuff, depending on how they've made them. But hey, before I even go deep into that, look, the design elements and everything else, you would have seen them. The Q5, this second generation has been around for quite some time. I think since 2016 or so. I think like 9 years now. So yeah, you've seen it over and over, but they've been refreshing it, giving it more, nip and tuck here and there. Like this one with the lights, you would have seen outside that the lights are the what am I saying? Day running lights. You would have seen that, of course, they do have like a different kind of design and sequence compared to the ones that we got back in 2017, I think. So that's probably something that you'll pick it up with, that this is a new one, but with the black styling as well, because this is a black edition. You'd see that it has black accents instead of the chromey stuff. The stuff that the trims that you would expect to be chrome and stuff, normally it's black, like the window trim, the bumper inserts like down there, and the sides of the mirrors, on top when it comes to the roof rack and all those things. So those stuff normally in the black editions, they are black. Not that everything inside will be black. You see, that's the beauty of having good lighting. Even when you're overtaking, you don't necessarily feel like you panic about it. That's one thing that I like about having good lighting, because at night when you're overtaking, you really need to, see properly. And this road, again, it's one of those roads that I'm actually used to. So it helps again, because when you're driving on a road like this and you want to drive like a little bit quicker, it's better that you know the road, or just put on the navigator so that you can see the sharp curves. Because sometimes, especially with roads like this that are in the farms and so on, you find that it's a little bit difficult to actually navigate your way through if you don't have the navigator on to see the sharp curves, because the signs might not be visible and so on and so on, and anything can come from the side. Luckily in South Africa, most of our roads they do have like fences on the side, because it's mostly around farms that people own, and they can be able to put barriers and so on. But when you don't have those, like when you're in Mpumalanga, like I said, you always need to be careful. Just reduce the speed. Probably that is the best way to deal with it. I'm probably doing around close to 8 liters now, which is not necessarily, someone can say it's not necessarily impressive for Audi, but I haven't been doing a lot of open roads in this car, so I don't blame them. Because when it comes to the Germans, man, they can make fuel efficient engines, eh? And that's something that you get, especially with their diesel engines. These things can do easily 1,000 kilometers if you are on the open road. We've seen that with the GLC, of course. And these engines, the 2-liter turbocharged diesel engines, they perform quite well. Even in the BMW X4, you can get like good return out of it. So I don't think it's something that I need to worry about right now. In fact, I'm not even focused on that kind of detail tonight, because we just want to see how it performs. And one thing that has impressed me up to so far is that despite having these lights on auto, I'm not seeing people complaining so far that I'm dazzling them, even if it's the last second or so, because people used to say that with Audi sometimes it turns the lights like back on when it comes to high beams just a few seconds before you pass the other car. But I think probably it was a software issue. Now they have managed to do well with that, because from what I've seen so far, people are not complaining, unless if they just don't care. They're like, people are doing pride on the roads, because this road is dark. It is dark. Yeah, it's literally in the farms, and yeah, we are where we are right now, and we know what we're doing, right? Don't forget that. And it's not even that late, because when it's winter like this, I think it's around past 6 or something, right? Yeah, so you just 6:30 already, it's like this, you can imagine, because it's winter now here in South Africa. So yeah, the lighting and everything else, guys, the sequence in the rear and everything else, I think with Audi I can never complain. They know how to make you like, they know how to get your attention, let me put it like that. Because yeah, so far I think from the exterior design and everything else, I do have a little bit of a quarrel with the silhouette of the vehicle, but when it comes to the lights and everything else, I can't complain. They still pretty much match the standard of what is required today, even better in some instances. Performance, I've already spoken about it. They're illuminating quite well, even on the side. On roads like this, you really need that side illumination, because you need to see everything that comes out of these bushes, so that it can help you, of course. Inside, I think I was pretty much impressed. It reminded me of the Mahindra XUV300 a bit. That lighting was good. It was extra good. This one is good. I think they've done a great job. Despite having this black leather and so on, I still find that you can see enough in the car when you turn on the lights, because everything inside is the LED, and the fact that we don't have a dark headliner as well, it helps when it comes to that. Again, in the boot, nice lighting. They've designed them quite well, actually. The strips that they have in the boot, I can't really say that they perform any better than anything else that has LED lights, despite having 2 lights on both sides, on the right and on the left, because sometimes you find that you only have one, but it illuminates quite well. You would have seen that when I open the boot at the back, it takes out the main lights, the main rear lights, but it illuminates down there on the bumper. That I've figured that in places like in the US, you can't have a car that when it's parked and the boot is up, you don't have lights illuminating at the back, because if anything comes in the dark, like at the back, they can just run into you easily. So you always need to have lights or reflectors that are reflecting backwards so that people can be able to see you. Please, 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 Audi guys, BMW, I think VW as well, please don't just turn on those rear fog lamps for nothing. I mean, those things are gruesome at night. They're giving us problems, and please, please, please don't do that. So yeah, inside you can see we do have ambient lighting and everything else. You can change it. There are multiple colors as well, but purple is the color of my choice. You know that already if you've been on the channel enough. And I think for me, the most impressive thing about this whole thing is that the interior, despite being dominated by plastics in some way or the other, it has been around for so long, but it still matches the standard of today. And that is something that is impressive for me, because Audi evolutionarized their vehicles. I've seen that the new Q5 and whatever cars they're coming with bigger screens and different and stuff, matching whatever is happening in China right now. But I'm not sure if that is Audi's way of doing things. This one, it has lasted, and I think we're still going to love it for some time, design-wise. But everything else, I think we'll talk about in the main review, of course. Let's pull it. Now this is the highway. This is R25, and from now on I'm not gonna say much. You know, I'm gonna play the sound system for you at some point as well. So just sit back, relax, and let's drive, right? Let's drive. Everything else that you want to know about this vehicle, man, I will give you more information in the main review. Don't worry about it. I don't want to talk forever, because I still need to give you more like 10 minutes or so of drive, because I'm going where I'm going to stop, then I'm going to cut the video there. You'll see at the garage, I think there's a Alzu garage somewhere there. We'll stop there. But hey guys, enjoy the rest of the drive. I really, really hope that, you know what, you're having a great day, night, whatever that is. Let's do it.